Steelers Nation, let's get into it. Our Pittsburgh Steelers are working every single week to get better, to fix weaknesses, and to put the best possible product on the field. That's what this season is all about, constant improvement and chasing that next level of success. And before we dive into today's exclusive story, I've got to ask you, smash that like button right now. It helps more fans like you find this channel, it keeps the black and gold conversation going strong, and it lets us keep dropping daily Steelers updates. Now, here's the big headline of the day. For weeks, rumors have swirled around Miami Dolphins star wide receiver Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins are in absolute chaos, and speculation grew that Hill could hit the trade block if the team decided to reset. Add to that Hill's visible frustration over the first two games of the season, and you had the perfect storm of trade chatter. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio even revealed that the Pittsburgh Steelers, yes, our team, were monitoring the situation. The idea of pairing Aaron Rodgers with Tyreek Hill in black and gold sent Steelers Nation into a frenzy. Imagine Rodgers launching those trademark deep balls with Hill streaking down the field. It would have been electric. But Florio provided a major update this week, and Steelers fans, it changes everything. According to Florio, Pittsburgh did have legitimate interest in Tyreek Hill at one point, but that interest is no longer there. Why? The answer is simple: off-the-field concerns. Florio broke it down like this. My understanding is the Steelers were, but they're not anymore, because Mike Tomlin is concerned about what happens with this personal conduct policy investigation. Hill is currently facing accusations of domestic violence from his estranged wife. Now, we don't know how that situation will unfold, but the Steelers don't want to risk trading away valuable draft picks, raising expectations for a superstar arrival, only to have him suspended mid-season if new evidence comes out. As Florio explained, is there going to be a photo? Is there going to be a video? Is there going to be something that Tyreek Hill gets suspended for? They don't want to trade for him and then lose him, which is not an unreasonable position. And honestly, he's right. Why give up a third-round pick or more for a player who might not even be available by November? The Steelers can't afford that kind of gamble, especially when the roster already has pressing needs elsewhere. Here's the thing. On the field, there's no debate. Tyreek Hill is one of the most dynamic players in football. His speed changes games, his presence alters defensive game plans, and his chemistry with Rodgers could have been historic. But Pittsburgh has always prided itself on a certain standard. The Rooney family, Mike Tomlin, and the front office want players who fit both on the field and off of it. Bringing in Hill under these circumstances would have been a massive distraction. And if the worst-case scenario played out with a suspension, it would be a disaster. For now, it looks like the Steelers are out on Tyreek Hill. That doesn't mean they won't explore other wide receiver options down the road, but this particular door seems closed. While the Tyreek Hill rumor dominated headlines, another story is quietly just as important for Steelers fans: the future of Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers signed a one-year, $13.65 million deal with Pittsburgh this offseason. After a rough 2024 season with the Jets, where they went 5-12, many assumed 2025 would be Rodgers' final run. But according to former Packers teammate Randall Cobb, don't count Rodgers out just yet. On Johnny Manziel's Glory Days podcast, Cobb shared his belief that Rodgers could actually play beyond 2025. If he stays healthy, I think he can make that decision after this year. I could see two more real years. That's huge. Cobb has been close to Rodgers for years, and if anyone has a feel for where his head is at, it's him. So far, Rodgers has been solid. Through 2 games, the Steelers sit at 1-1. Rodgers is tied for third in the league with 5 touchdowns, he's thrown for 447 yards, and while his QB rating of 45.8 isn't pretty, the flashes are there. Against the Seahawks, he threw 2 interceptions and the offense struggled to find consistency. But in Week 1, he looks sharp, spreading the ball around and showing leadership. The reality is, Rodgers is still adjusting to a brand new system under offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, and it's only September. Rodgers himself kept perspective after the loss to Seattle. He said, "I don't like to get too binary. It's a 17-game season. The process has to be great. Just dig into the details, enjoy it, practice well, and let the game day take care of itself. It's a marathon, not a sprint." That's classic Rodgers, calm, confident, and focused on the long game. If Cobb is right, and Rodgers has 2 more real years left in the tank, the Steelers' entire outlook changes. Instead of this being a 1-year rental situation, Pittsburgh will be looking at a 2 to 3 year window to chase a Lombardi trophy with Rodgers under center. But here's the catch. If the Steelers aren't adding weapons like Tyreek Hill, then Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin need to be aggressive in other ways. Whether it's bolstering the offensive line, finding a reliable wide receiver 2, or continuing to build the defense, Pittsburgh has to maximize Rodgers' time. Every decision they make this season has to be about putting this team in the best position to win right now. The Steelers face the New England Patriots in Week 3. It's another chance to bounce back, another chance to show growth, and another chance for Rodgers to lead this team the way only he can. And while the Tyreek Hill rumors may have fizzled out, the bigger picture remains. This team is trying to build something sustainable. Rodgers might have more gas left in the tank than many expected, but he can't do it alone. The Steelers need all hands on deck if they're going to make noise in the AFC. Heading into the 2025 season, expectations for this Steelers defense were sky high. Analysts and fans alike predicted this would be one of the top units in the NFL. With guys like T.J. Watt and Cam Hayward leading the charge, the thought was simple: physical, dominant, and punishing football, just the way Pittsburgh likes it. But reality has been much harsher through the first 2 weeks. The Steelers have given up nearly 800 yards of total offense already, failing to impose their will at the line of scrimmage. Instead of suffocating opponents, Pittsburgh has looked soft against the run, inconsistent on third down, and unable to set the tone defensively. It's been frustrating to watch, and if we're being honest, the absence of rookie Derek Harmon has loomed large. For those who might need a refresher, Harmon was drafted in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft with the idea that he'd step in immediately as a key piece on the defensive front. At Oregon, he was a force, strong, explosive, and capable of eating up double teams while still finding his way into the backfield.
The Steelers didn't draft him just to sit and learn. They expected him to start right away, to clog running lanes, and to help bring back that intimidating presence in the trenches. Unfortunately, a preseason knee injury robbed him of his first chance to make an impact. And ever since, you can see the ripple effects on this defense. Without Harmon, the linebackers are overcompensating, the secondary is being exposed, and Watt isn't getting quite the same freedom to do what he does best: terrorize quarterbacks. Here's where the update comes in. Defensive coordinator Terrell Austin spoke to the media this week and laid out the Steelers' cautious plan for Harmon's eventual return. Austin said, "We'll be pretty judicious with his snaps and try to work him back. He's probably going to lack some football conditioning, some football shape." In other words, don't expect Harmon to walk right in and instantly play 50 snaps a game. The staff knows he's missed valuable time, and while his rehab is going well, football conditioning is something you can't replicate in a training room. The Steelers' approach is clear. They believe Harmon will be a difference maker, but they're not going to risk a setback by rushing him back too soon. They want him 100% ready, not just medically cleared. The message from Austin is simple. This team still has confidence in its veterans to hold down the fort until Harmon is ready. But here's the reality. Pittsburgh's defensive identity is on the line right now. Think about it. The Steelers have always built their reputation around toughness at the line of scrimmage. If you can't stop the run, if you can't dominate up front, then suddenly everything else falls apart. That's exactly what we've seen these past 2 weeks. Getting Harmon back could be the turning point of the season. He doesn't just bring size and strength, he brings balance. His presence would free up the linebackers, give Watt and the edge rushers more opportunities, and stabilize a defense that right now feels like it's on shaky ground. Let's be honest, Steeler Nation has been voicing its frustration. We've all seen the games where the defense looked a step slow, where the run defense couldn't get off the field, and where teams moved the ball at will. That's not the standard we expect. When the Steelers used a first-round pick on Harmon, it wasn't just about talent. It was about restoring that standard. Pittsburgh knew what was missing up front, and Harmon was supposed to be the answer. That's why his return, whenever it comes, feels like it could change the whole trajectory of the season. Now let's look at the big picture. The next few weeks will be a critical stretch for the Steelers. If the defense can hold its own until Harmon is ready, then suddenly you've got a mid-season boost that could flip the narrative. But if the struggles continue, then the pressure on Harmon's shoulders only grows. Fair or not, fans and analysts will be looking at him as the savior of the defense. That's a lot for a rookie to carry, but when you're a first-round pick in Pittsburgh, those expectations come with the territory. So, now I want to hear from you. Do you agree with the Steelers' decision to pull back from trading for Tyreek Hill? Was it the right move, or should Pittsburgh have rolled the dice? Do you believe Randall Cobb is right that Rodgers still has 2 more good years left in him? Or do you think 2025 will be his last dance in the NFL? And looking ahead to Week 3, what do you want to see most from this team? Offensive improvement, defensive dominance, or just a complete 4-quarter effort? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be checking them out, and your opinions might even get featured in our next breakdown. And before you head out, don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update. Steeler Nation is a family, and together we're riding every high and every low this season. Here we go.